Hello! Today I have the opportunity to paint a portrait, a realistic portrait of a cat. The cat's name is No Name, which I really love. And here you see me blocking out the cat. I started with the head and then the facial features because just like humans, all animals are really different. So I'm using my laptop to reference the picture. You can see my family just moving in and out of my art studio. So a lot of times these commissions save me because I do not just sit and paint every day, which I really should. So I've made a plan recently to get up early on Mondays before I exercise and record videos if I finish the painting or if I don't finish the painting. So that's a new goal of mine. I hope I can stick to it. And the reason why these commissions save me is because I feel not obligated in a negative way, but I feel motivated when I have them because I say, okay, this person wants a painting and I'm a Virgo and a giver. And so for me to give is just a wonderful feeling. So I want to finish this painting so, they can have a happy picture in their house and that they can have the soul of this cat living in their house again. And it just makes me really happy and I feel really special to be picked to do this portrait. So I've blocked it out. I know exactly what space I want to fill in the canvas. And so it's not exactly proportional or balanced. But that's okay. I like to leave the surreal element in my realistic paintings as well because my surreal ones sometimes look real and my real ones look surreal, and it's interchangeable, whatever style that you have. So I've filled in the canvas mostly. And that's my goal at first, is just to fill it up, get all the paint on there to do my first layer, and then to add the details later. So I'm adding highlights and shadows now, and I've almost finished the back. The person that wants this painting, you can see my son right there. He's helping me. You can see my client really likes gray, and it really goes well with the cat. So I've made the background gray, and I've just made shapes to reference shadows in the background to kind of give a hint of some dimension back there. Maybe there's something, back there that's darker or lighter, so I want to make those shapes in the back. And then I also want to figure out what's the lightest part of this cat and what are the dark parts of this cat. And then I can start making mid-tones. So I get my background, I get my cat, the lights and darks, and then I start now on the mid-tones. That's mostly blending. So you'll see me make marks and then blend it, make marks and then blend it. Part of animals is fur a lot of the times, and so there's a lot of blending, a lot of brush stroke marks, and I'm also not perfect at realism. That's something that I'm working on. So this is really, really great practice. Those little tiny hairs, there's millions of them. So as long as you can reference the fur and the color that it is, the highlights and the shadows, it's usually a little easier to get the fur in there. You just have to layer, and build and build and build. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just building, I'm layering, I'm getting the big parts of this cat down so that I can work on the details. So I'm getting the fur ready on the neck, and you'll see me fix and go over parts to make the cat's head more like it is. I started off just with a reference on what the cat kind of looks like. I didn't project this, I didn't grid it, so this is just all free-handed. So I will have to change the head shape a little bit because it's not perfect. Of course, nothing's perfect. And isn't that the most wonderful thing about painting, is that even though it isn't perfect, It's yours, and it's perfect in that way because perfectionism does not exist. So I find comfort in that, especially when I paint, that although this is not perfect, it is something I have made, and no one in this whole entire world can duplicate that. And how special am I to be able to do that and to be given this talent? So this is really great. I'm really happy with it. And so I am filling in the small details. A lot of artists, it's up to what style you have. They like to go from one side to the other and fill out the details. Some artists like to go layer by layer by layer. But I kind of go all over the place, especially because I have to get up, I have to take care of my son, I have to make sure all the things are happening in the house. So I leave it and I come back. And sometimes that helps me a lot, is to leave it, to not look at it, and to come back, even especially if I'm spending hours on this, which this took me 3 hours, just about. So you'll see me leaving and come back, and that's fine, because I think looking at a painting for too long, you start to lose why you're even doing it. So like, why am I even doing this? You kind of lose lose the spark. And so I'll leave and come back, and I will see, I need to change this, or this looks more realistic. So now I'm working on the eyes, and this particular cat has a really cool eye. Just one of the eyes has a little brown in it, and the eyes are green. So that's really cool, especially because Halloween is coming up. So this is a really cool black cat. Maybe I can sell some prints of him or her. I'm not sure what the gender is. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. You'll see I've made a little bit of a halo highlight all around the cat. And then I'm starting to do the fuzzy fur. That is a really good technique just to kind of show how fuzzy it is, texture. And you can also go over it. If the lines are too sharp, you can go over and blend. And you'll go over, blend, add a little lighter color and blend. This cat has pretty smooth fur, and so it's almost like shading and highlighting on an apple, without fur, and then you can add it on top, if that makes sense. I think we can overcomplicate these things, and sometimes if you think try to think a little bit more simply, it comes out a lot better than you would have imagined. Definitely can overcomplicate the fur, and I don't quite have the head shape right here, but I am getting a lot of detail on the eyes, a lot of detail on the face, so I'm really happy with it. I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to get frustrated that it doesn't look perfect. I'm not going to be frustrated that I have to do all these lines. When those feelings come up, I just leave and come back, and I feel a little bit of relief. So I'm going around the nose. I think the nose was the hardest part of this whole painting. For some reason, I don't think that I got it in the right spot. So you'll see me moving it a little bit in this session, which is fine. There was artists back in the day that would leave paintings for months and years and then come back to it to finish it. So, it can be a painting that was done for 10 years. So you just leave it and come back. I'm a big believer in leaving paintings and coming back to them, or painting over them. And I know that's kind of taboo, and a lot of people don't like that. And I've also been told I should never paint over a painting, which I think is ridiculous. You can do whatever you want. And so I often, if I really don't like it, I will paint over the whole thing and just start again. And some of my best paintings have come from just doing that, just accepting that this is not going to turn out the way it should in my head, and I can just start again. Just like life, you can paint over what you've done, and you can start again and do something a lot better with yourself, right? So that's what I'm doing with this, is I'm sculpting the face with the fur, adding highlights, also helping with my sons, and just really enjoying this. Yeah, so I really like the left side because of the eye of the cat. So I'm almost done with that side. I'm gonna have to work on the right a little bit. The whiskers definitely help a lot to tie this painting together. I don't know if this cat would look like a cat without the whiskers, so I'm glad that it's dark and it has really light whiskers. It's looking great. I'm adding fur to the chest. As you can see, what I meant by kind of highlighting and shadowing like an apple. Doing the same thing, but adding strokes like fur. I didn't quite get the shade of the eye right. It's a little bit duller and a little bit more yellow, but I really like this. So I think I'm gonna keep the color of the eyes, and then after I'm done with the portrait, go over a little bit with a little red to make it a little more brown, make it a little bit more uniform. I'm adding more whiskers, and I'm adding shadows under the whiskers to make it more dramatic, because I feel like portraits should be dramatic. I think if you're making a portrait of someone, it should just be a little bit more dramatized. And I'm almost finished. I see that the head shape's not right, so I'm gonna go in and try my best to make it exactly like the picture. Like I said, I freehanded this, so there will be mistakes. There will be things that aren't completely perfect, because I did this in 3 hours. If I was spending years on it or months on it, something like that, that's a whole different story. But for me, personally, the artist that I am, I like a quick study. I like to quickly finish the portrait. I like to be as fast as I can. And I like it because I want to look back on what I've done before and see the improvement just by the fast studies. I just like how my brain works on a painting when I'm put in that situation where I have to do it very quickly. I was taught in theatrical scenic art. So the faster you can do something, the better, the happier the scenic designers are, the happier the lighting designers are. So I prefer to just be really fast, and I think I do my best work that way. I don't want to spend a long time on it. I don't want to think about it that much. I begin to stress about it, and I want art to be a joy in my life. I don't want to be stressed by it. So I'm just going to do it very quickly. And so as you can see, I'm pretty happy with it right now. I like how it's going. I'm going to, like I said, dull out the eyes a little bit, work on the nose, because I was not happy with the nose. Those were the parts I just was having a rough time with. So I believe I left and I came back, and yeah, finishing it up, finishing the details that I know will stand out for this client. This client happens to have bought my work for almost 4 years now, which is amazing. Maybe, 4.5 years. And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for people that come back to buy my work and enjoy it and want to fill their houses with it. It's affordable. It's from my heart. It's something that I hold dear. Art is something that I've always had in my life, and I always will have in my life. And so I really am grateful for commissions, getting me to sit and paint when all I want to do is make sure everything's perfect for my family. It's great to have somebody say, no, sit and paint, Bev. And so I'm finishing it up. I'm adding details to the background. The client said that they really love gray, and so I'm just going to piggyback off the cat and add a bunch of gray to the background. And I'm almost finished. I've signed it. I'm just adding a little bit of detail. These portraits are about just enjoying myself. So if you're interested in one of my portraits, or you would like a one-on-one painting class to help you start with portraits, you can contact me through my website, beverlyjburris.com, and I'll put that in the comments. I believe it's on my YouTube already. But yeah, I would like to help you create one or make you one myself. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching. Goodbye.